Welcome back. I am John.
And I'm Natalie, and we are American Tifosi. On this podcast, we talk about everything Formula One, drama on the track, drama off, talking about it all here today. So, we are going over our 2025 final thoughts, predictions for the 2026 season coming up before preseason testing, and I'm excited. John, final thoughts on 2025.
2025 was really exciting, probably the most exciting year since I've been a fan. Of course,
Okay.
that isn't just because Max didn't win, but that's part of it. And then really the cool thing is I'm just because it finished so close, it makes me more excited for 2026. But ultimately, it shouldn't have been that close, right? I mean, McLaren had this in hand the whole way, so I'm interested to see if McLaren learns from their mistakes. Will be as we move forward because they were so dominant. But what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are I have a lot of choice words for McLaren, but the first being congratulations. Truly devastated for Oscar. He had it in the bag, and McLaren just really started messing with him in his head. I hope that doesn't happen in this next season. Um, Very impressed with Williams. I know Carlos started the season by saying he's not going to get any podiums, and he got two, so that's great.
Two
And
more than
I
Lewis.
two more than Lewis, which is bringing me to my next point of I just keep getting more disappointed in Ferrari with the regulation changes. Maybe something will change for our boys in red, but we'll see. I hope, but disappointed for them for this past season.
Yeah, I also am disappointed. I mean, we are the Tifosi, right? So I mean, my first love was Ferrari. I was excited for Lewis coming to the team. Sad to see Carlos leave, but I've been a Williams fanboy for a little while, so was really happy, like you, to see how well they kind of turned it around.
Right.
Um, there was a lot of speculation going into the start of last season. Would appear that's kind of on the same skill level as Alex Albon. What
Hmm.
would that do? And that kind of pushed them both forward. Plus, James Vowles might be the best team principal in the business, so
I think
I'm
so
excited
too.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't do like a full season of predictions, but we did keep a tally of the predictions we did make. The final
Yes.
score was, let's see, I had 14 and you had 10. I think we had a comment that somebody owes somebody ice cream, so the next time I see you, you owe me ice cream.
Yes, but I would like to say that we were not confident in my predictions, but I gotta say I'm pretty proud of my 10 there. I got up a little bit.
Yeah,
I
oh
got
yeah,
there.
there was a time that I was ahead by like 9 points, so you
I
definitely
know.
you definitely caught up. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, yeah, as the
well,
2025 season passes, we now look onward to the 2026 season. What is on your mind entering preseason testing? I've been seeing a lot on the interweb, so I'm wondering what your thoughts
yeah.
are.
Well, like I said, I'm super excited for this year. The big thing, of course, is the regulation changes.
Hmm.
We'll talk about that in a second. I'm super excited for Cadillac to enter the grid. Another American team I think is cool to help make the sport more appealing to the Western world. Um, Audi, so Sauber is now going to become a competent team, hopefully, as
Maybe.
Saudi transitions to Audi. And every other racing thing that they're in, they're really good. So hopefully their
Yeah.
money and I just saw the other day that they successfully started their power unit inside their car, which is kind
Nice.
of cool. So,
Yeah.
well, what about you? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to the liveries, of course. I enjoy
You are
when we're able
loco for
to
liveries.
look at some would say that. Yes. Um, I just saw, I think yesterday, that Cadillac released their preseason testing livery, which has a bunch of names of
Um,
the people who created the Cadillac Formula One team on it and a big Cadillac symbol on the side.
yeah,
It
I missed
looks,
that.
it looks, you know, it looks like a great car. It's
Hmm.
nothing special personally,
Yeah.
but it's cool. And then Williams, I'm a little concerned about. I didn't like their livery last year, and you told me a rumor about yellow and blue. Not a fan of that combination, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, so yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know about their livery. I just know their team shirts now are like a
right.
lighter blue than this, and like a yellow, like a like a daisy yellow, I guess, or like
Hmm.
a flowery yellow.
Yeah,
I don't think they look bad, but I just what I was more commenting on is I wonder if that is going to make it to their livery.
right.
Speaking of the Williams livery, though, last year we had kind of reviewed or liked all of the liveries based on the Formula 175 where all the liveries came out together. So it was easy to
Hmm.
kind of compare and contrast to all the
Yeah.
other liveries. And we're not going to be able to do that this year. They're all in a very cadenced release.
Hmm.
But last year you did that was one of our big points of where you and I disagreed. I loved the Duracell, the way they did that in there
I
for
did not.
right. So I'm going to ask you right now to make a prediction of a livery that you think is going to be a huge change from their old livery. So, for example, if you think
Mm.
Williams is going to be way different or whatever, obviously, I think it's safe to leave Cadillac and Audi out of this conversation
I was
because
gonna say Audi.
I think
Audi's
that
probably
I
gonna be
mean
the biggest change.
I agree. I agree.
Besides
Uh,
that, for Williams' sake, I hope that it's Williams. But
mm,
maybe Alpine.
that's
I feel like Alpine kind of switches it up every year. I really liked theirs last year, and the year before that was pretty different from that. So I'm gonna guess Alpine, but I hope that it's Williams. I Here's what I want. This might just be a tangent, but I would like to see Ferrari do something really special with their livery. I know that we just keep getting the red. I When they had the like special Monaco blue suits and the Charles Leclerc Monaco blue hat and everything, I thought that they were going to change the car, and they didn't. I think they changed like the rims or something. And I want Ferrari to do something big like that. Can we go back to the Monaco blue and change the entire car and make I want to see a Monaco blue. I know they probably can't. It's Ferrari red,
yeah
but
yeah.
I want something new.
I, if we're talking about wants, I totally agree because I thought that their crappy HP logo and they had too much blue and too much white. Just give me as
Right.
much red and yellow as possible.
Yeah.
So I agree. If you would ask me the question, I think Alpine because they seem to change a lot. Obviously,
Hmm.
I think Audi will change the most.
Right.
Um, Historically, the winning team never changes. And
Hmm.
the first thing we have coming up is the Red Bulls, but the Red Bulls don't change very much. Obviously,
No.
V-Carb changes because they change their name every year.
Right.
But I don't think they're changing their name this year, so I don't know. I'm excited. I hope Williams stays close to the same. I wouldn't be mad if there was a little bit of yellow in that car. I think it would look pretty sharp. Mercedes hasn't changed very much. McLaren doesn't
No.
change very much.
Hmm.
Aston Martin doesn't change very much. I
No.
wouldn't mind. You know what I would like Aston Martin to change? One of their
Their
drivers.
drivers.
Well, just one of them. I'd be good. I'd be good with just one.
Which one, John? Might I
Oh,
ask?
oh, do tell. Of course, we're going to talk about Lance Stroll.
Right.
And the season haven't started. The season hasn't even started, and we're already bagging on Lance
I
Stroll.
know.
Um, yeah. Anything else you're looking forward to as this preseason? Um,
Um, I guess we can start our anticipation for seeing two drivers return to the grid, Checo and Bottas. Really excited
Hell
for
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So excited to see them back. Excited to see them as a team, wondering what that will do because they're both number two drivers, or they have been historically. So I want to see like
Yeah.
what happens when you put them together. I'd also like to bring up that I'm pretty sure Bottas still has to pay a penalty in Melbourne, a five
So
grid penalty.
for a crash against Magnussen,
Yes. Yeah.
so I saw that too, and I think that we're being trolled. I
Okay.
don't know. Um,
I wonder if we're being trolled, but I
I
don't know.
can't
He
find
hasn't
it.
paid it. He hasn't paid it yet. So,
Yeah, I can't find it anywhere. I just I've never heard of anything like that. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of weird. I did see
oh,
that.
definitely. But I
And it
kind of
was
hope
it
it's
was for
true.
a wreck on Magnussen,
Hmm.
who's not on the grid anymore. I don't even think he's a reserve driver anymore.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
not
sure where
sure.
he is.
Um, yeah, something that I'm excited about because of the regulation changes, and now's a good time to maybe dive into that. Is
Sure.
there's three preseason tests. So
Hmm.
historically, in a normal year, there's only one, and half of it's private. So we don't hear about it unless people, reporters get pit access, and then you
Hmm.
don't see video. You get like a couple still images
Right.
of the car on the track, and you get a driver's report. But um, we didn't really put this on our notes, but I know we talked about it before. Is uh, I'm excited because it's coming to Apple TV Plus,
Mm-hmm.
and they are promising to all of the all of the practices and everything, which I kind of like to nerd out for that. So now that we have more practice sessions, maybe that's more Formula One to watch on television,
Right.
and
Yeah. And we
it's
don't have
like
Sky Sports over here, really.
right. And I
So
don't even know if in Europe it's if the practices are televised or if it's a special package you have to buy. But what
on
I'm
top of
excited
the
about,
already $70 a month.
yeah, yeah, right,
That's
exactly,
why I'm an
and that's
F1 TV fan. Anywhere
and
you
it.
go. Actually, even in Europe, I wasn't able to use the F1 TV for most of the time there. But
Really?
yeah, no, yeah, it didn't work for like half the season. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I agree with you. I think Apple is going to make it easier. That's good.
Well, I mean, for the standard consumer, I can see how it would be cumbersome because now it's a another subscription you have to streaming
Sure.
service you have to buy.
Right.
But like for me, who wants to watch all of it,
Mm-hmm.
ESPN didn't have all of it. Like I had to
Right.
buy ESPNU and ESPN News and ESPN 14 and the Ocho
Mm-hmm.
and all this other stuff. So I'm excited about that. But we talked about it. There's three preseason tests, and that's because of the regulation change. And the
Mm-hmm.
regulation change, in theory, if you go back historically and look at like the periods of dominance for drivers, as most
Mm-hmm.
recently as Max, and before that Lewis, and before that Sebastian Vettel, it's always at the end of a regulation. It's when
Right.
one teams have kind of pardon me figured it out. Um, so one thing that I'm excited about is just with those new regulations, hopefully everyone's a lot closer.
Mm-hmm.
There's a all sort of new kind of DRS system. There's active aerodynamics, and I think the cars are smaller, so in theory, passing is going to be easier.
Maybe Monaco
Um,
will be exciting.
I don't know about that, but I'm just excited that maybe we don't hear about dirty air and inability to pass.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be okay with hearing papaya rules again instead of dirty air
Sure.
and not able to pass.
Sure.
Um, But there's already it wouldn't be Formula One, it wouldn't be competitive motorsport racing if there wasn't already complaining about
Right.
teams getting a leg up. So, um, have you have you heard about the Ferrari's potential filing of a protest?
Yes, against Mercedes.
Yeah. So, and sadly, it's not just Mercedes because Mercedes supplies power units to McLaren. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the scary thing. Um, but it's all about compression ratio, and they have figured out how to expand their compression. The better the compression ratio, the faster your time is, and the Formula One rules clearly state that the compression ratio is measured when the car is cold,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow Mercedes or they're being alleged to be able to get a better compression ratio as the car heats up. And that's going to impact quite a few teams. Notably, it's going to hurt Ferrari.
Right.
Um, it's gonna hurt the Haas because they're using Ferrari. I think Aston is in Honda this year, if I'm not mistaken. So
Okay.
it would hurt them. Williams is in Mercedes, so there's reason for that. Um, but remember early on in the season last year, there was people were complaining about how McLaren was using like sorcery to cool their
Right.
brakes.
Yes.
Um, and they had a clear advantage for a couple races. Then everybody else figured it out. So
Right.
what I
So
don't want it to
Ferrari will
be is,
catch up, perhaps.
that's my hope. But us as Ferrari fans, I'm a little discouraged that they're already starting off, and the stuff that like the race is reporting is,
Mm-hmm.
4/10 a lap. That's huge when you think
Yeah.
about qualifying is sometimes you know 2/10 is slower, on a qualifying lap. So 3 or 4 tenths a lap is you're seconds behind before too long. Um, yeah, but any other thing that you're looking forward to with in regards to the regulation
Well,
change?
maybe not looking forward to, but that reminds me of this theory that I heard. I'd like to get your thoughts on it. Rumor theory. Maybe this is just an excuse for Ferrari, but towards the end of the season last year, people were saying that Ferrari is throwing the towel in order to gain more wind tunnel time. And how do you
Yeah,
feel about that? You think that's true? Do you think, or is
I
that
know.
just an excuse that we've come up with?
I think it's both, but
Okay.
a pretty notable interview that Fred Vasseur had in his end of season like wrap up. And the thing that I thought was really notable was he said, as a team collectively, we decided to basically mail it in early, and they were one of the. I
Right.
mean, they sent the fewest upgrades after
Right.
basically Monza.
Yeah.
Um, so there's two things to that are one is concerning to me. One is they are already complaining about cars being better than them, and they
Right.
mailed it in before everybody else. So that is a reason to be a little bit concerned
Sure.
as a member of the Tifosi.
Right.
Um, the other thing that Fred Vasseur, he's on record as saying is like he didn't consider the psychological effect it would have on the drivers.
Right. Which is
And
big.
it's huge. Now, after let's say the fifth race, did we really think that Ferrari had a chance to win?
No, no, we
No.
didn't.
The thing that was really heartbreaking for me is watching him get worse and worse as the season went on.
Hmm.
And then it became apparent to me because it's a sliding scale. It's like a bell curve. You get more wind tunnel time, the worse you do.
Right.
Cadillac already gets the most. No one can get more than them because they're
Hmm.
brand new.
Right.
Um, so it's almost like what you hear in American sports where people tank for a draft pick or whatever.
Hmm.
It's similar to that. It's just gutting because it's you're you know let's use American football where the Cleveland Browns, you already know the Cleveland Browns are going to suck. If they're going to suck to get the first pick, they're going to suck.
Sure.
Ferrari, we didn't know was going to suck. Like
Right.
we thought. So watching him like just get worse and worse and worse,
Yeah.
and that was what was really hard. If we'd had the expectation of Ferrari of we did as for say Sauber or Haas, then it wouldn't
Right.
have been so bad. But here we are watching Haas kind of kill it at the end. Williams kind of kill it at the end, so much
Hmm.
that it fueled speculation that Lewis is not going to return and Ollie Bierman is going to take his seat. Like so.
Right. Just the number of times we saw Lewis Hamilton at the end of the race, like crying in his seat, really, it was really gutting to see that.
Yeah,
But
I
I
agree.
hope that it pays off for this next season. But like you said, they're already filing reports and saying other cars are better than theirs. So I
That's
don't
what's
know.
a little
I'm
bit alarming for
concerned.
me is like
Yeah.
then if you are going to make the decision to mail it in, then you have to also like kind of make the promise that you're going to be
Yeah.
better. You would think,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see with I'm something that I'm curious about, and shame on me for not knowing the answer right now, but I'm curious at how the scoring is going to change with 11 teams on the grid. Like
Sure. Yeah.
is it because that's always been something that I thought was a little bit, I don't want to call it unfair, but a little bit too heavy-handed. The difference between first and second place is 5 points, whereas the difference between ninth and 10th place is 1 point.
Right.
That's I hope that when they figure this out, they kind of make that scale a little bit more of an even. Uh,
Yeah, I agree. We haven't done any research on that, but is that like the t now the bottom 11 don't get points or the top 11 do get points? How are they going to split that evenly, I wonder?
that's a yeah. You know what? I'm gonna have to look into that because that's is it 11 and 11? I don't know.
Right.
But even if it's 11, there's how are you going to divide that up? Because 10th right now gets 1 point. I,
Right.
I can't see them doing half points.
No.
You know, I would
Yeah.
love to see. I would love to see 1 point come out of first, second gain 1 point, third gain 2 or 3 points, and then just have it kind of even out, or even say 2 or 3 points come out of first, and then that those 3 points that you take out of first place just get sprinkled to everywhere else.
But then, so you're saying that the lower they are, the more points they get?
I would just like to see if you were to put it on like a line graph.
Hmm.
First place would be so high up, and then it's
Yeah.
second place, and then it's kind of like slopes down evenly.
Right. Yeah.
I would rather it just look like a perfectly straight flow line,
Yeah.
um, and it doesn't. So I'd like to see that. Um, but there's something to be said for giving the winner so the winner goes the spoils. So
Right. Yeah. Well, we did post on our YouTube and our Instagram a poll for our viewers to fill out and to look at, and it sounds like Along with us, our viewers are thinking that the livery reveals and the fact that Cadillac and Audi are coming are the most interesting of this next season, which I
Yeah.
tend to agree. I also voted on there and I said that the liveries were what I was most interested in.
Yeah, I said Cadillac's entry, so valid. We had a couple comments, both kind of leaning to that Cadillac was um, some people called it elegant, which is valid completely. They are more of a luxury car as they are known in the United States, right? But so also is, well, Aston Martin is kind of weird, but I don't know. Williams is not a car.
Right.
So, which I actually love. So, um, and Haas is not a car. I don't know. A lot of people are looking forward to the liveries, and I think that's great. I'm looking forward to the nerdiness of it. I mean, like I said, 3 preseason tests is huge. But I do appreciate the people that commented again for Cadillac and Audi changing over. I'm interested to see only because Audi has given us that sneak peek of like a possible rendering of what their Audi is or what their car is going to look like.
Hmm.
It looks like two cars put together in one, the way that's, so I hope that they blend the colors together. I think it was silver
Yeah.
and red. I mean, it
Hmm.
was like
Yeah.
um, if they want to lean it forward with silver and red, okay.
Just don't
I'm
lean
not,
too far into Haas.
or Ferrari.
Yeah.
If you add blue, then I know you're not in Ferrari.
Right.
Um, yeah, I don't know. And Cadillac is historically like black, silver, and red. Like
Hmm.
when you look at, they're usually like black and silver with red trim.
Right.
Um, so I don't, and Audi is really generally been like just four silver rings. So I don't
Right.
know that they have a color associated with them, much like Aston Martin does or Ferrari
Right.
does. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. That's one of the things that I will, uh, as a guy that wants it to become much more popular in the United States. I'm super excited that the Cadillac livery reveal is happening during a commercial during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, actually,
I think that's
I'm really
like
excited for that.
now I'm gonna have to pee during the game and watch and watch the
Watch the
commercials
commercials, right?
unless the Seahawks are in it. Yeah, like I think that's really creative and I think it's awesome. And
Hmm.
also commercial time is notably very, very, in the millions of dollars for like 30
Right.
second segments. So it also kind of shows me that Cadillac is putting some money into this. It's not just
Yeah.
like Toyota did back in the day where they kind of
Hmm.
mailed it in and didn't try very hard.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
so I'm excited for that.
me too. Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have for you guys today. It's a little short video, but a good catch up, I would say. Next time we see
Totally.
you, we will be discussing our favorite dates on the 2026 calendar. Not normal calendar, the Formula One calendar. Don't be silly. As well as our boldest, maybe out of left field predictions before we give you some real predictions for the start of the season. Make sure to comment, follow our Instagram at American Tifosi, and we will see you next time.
Yep. Thank you guys. I'm John.
And I'm Natalie, and we're American Tifosi.
See you.